All right. So I recently played, by recently I mean like just an hour ago, played this game as Doctor Strange on Celestial Husk, and I wanted to go over it because I think I played really well this game, and I think there's some things that I did that I feel like can really help people um, understand like the fundamentals of playing Strange pretty well. So just before we start this off, I want to say that I was hard shot calling this game. We had our whole team in comms. We have a good comp, and I like everyone was like the vibes were good, and they were ready to listen to calls. So here's how we start. So I noticed we have triple heals, right? So we have Loki, Cloak, and Ultron, and we have Iron Man, and then I'm on Strange, and this guy kind of switches around a little bit. I think he's actually no, I think he plays Cap like the entire time. So here I'm calling for a portal play, and we're gonna see what I do. I tell my team, and so I noticed something right here. I tell, and also I didn't realize that our Ultron was actually not in voice at the time. But what I told them was, I said, since we have two flyers, I want the flyers to go in through the back of the portal, so they go in like this. That way, when they come out, they can use it as cover, and the rest of us will go in normally. That way, our flyers have cover, and they can play around the portal, and then our main line can all see each other, right? So that's what I'm calling for. I don't know if our Ultron really got the message, but our Iron Man was listening. Um, and here I'm looking for a good spot. I'm scouting where they are, and I'm like, okay, they're on high ground. So what I do is I wait for somebody to drop down. That way I can split their team up. So right here, you see how I wait for them to drop down, and I immediately place it and say, look, we have Widow and Jeff. They're isolated. Everybody else is behind the portal. Uh, so as we jump through, we immediately fight the. Actually, this is kind of a weird. There we go. We fight this out. See, our Iron Man is behind the portal. Um, this is actually not the best place for Iron Man. Not in retrospect, the way that I called it, I probably should have put the portal a little bit at an angle. That way he could play behind it, because now he's kind of in the open to the enemy team. That's on me. But we are successful in getting these pokes. I get frozen, but our team kind of carries us on. And I tell them immediately, I say, like, to stay on high ground and fight downward. So we see our cloak is probably going to stay up here. Ultron's going to stay up here. And I'm fighting on point. So we're flipping it. So this is their side of the map, and we're flipping it. We have our healers on their high ground, and I'm going to look downward, right? I get hooked. So this is kind of bad for me. I'm just trying to live right here. My Cap comes to bail me out a little bit. We get a kill. And I realize I'm really low, and Widow's looking at me, so I can't put my shield down. So I'm hoping that I can back up to line of sight. And I know there's an Angela on my back line, and I'm hoping I could back up to line of sight, which I'm very lucky that I'm able to. And our Loki drops a rune for me and everything, which is very well thought out. And then once I'm healed up, I'm ready to go back in, and then I just immediately aggress onto their healers. And this is just a cleanup at this point. So that's immediately like one portal just wins us first point. And if you don't know how domination works, whoever gets the first capture typically, I don't want to say like typically wins, but your win rate goes from like a 50-50 to like an 80-20. Maybe like a 75-25. But the getting that first capture is really important, because the first capture leads you statistically in a very favorable position. So here I'm third person peeking, and I'm looking. I hear them jumping on the left side, so I'm calling that they're on high ground again. And I notice that they're up there, so I'm gonna look to see who's late and see if I can get some picks or pokes. Sorry, not picks. And I'm gonna threaten them here, make them fight me back. So that's kind of the theory here. I don't want to just let them get this high ground for free. I'm gonna make them fight me back. And while I do that, I get ult charge at the same time, right? So I get ult charge. I never risk dying unless I see Bucky hook, right? So if Bucky peeks this corner, I'm probably going to hold my shield up and drop immediately, because if I get hooked, I can die. But if I'm playing on this rock, my healers can see me, and I'm ready to drop down, and I risk dying, or I don't risk dying at all. I'm able to poke so I can get ult charge, and sort of make them spend a little bit of resources fighting me back without having to risk dying here. So I don't overengage, and see, I'm ready to fall all the way back to point. I notice we have runes here, so I'm going to get in the runes. And we're giving them space. So notice how nobody dies here. I didn't fight them until I died. I just backed up until they gave them space. There's an Angela on us, but that's fine. We're willing to fight the space now that we backed up, we stabilized. We can fight for space. I know that if I can hold off like these people like on my own with like a little bit of support, then they can deal with being doped by Venom without me. So like right here, look, I'm gonna get all up in their face. We pop co-op time, so I know that I can start playing at this choke. I kind of wish we went a little deeper, but I think she might have needed to save somebody back there. But that's okay. And now they're all clustered up. So I have Agamotto. I'm looking for it. And that actually wasn't great. We got the Angela off of it, and Jeff swallows me, but I think he dies immediately. Yeah. So like it wasn't a great Agamotto, but it confirmed the kill on the Angela, and it made them all hide, so she wasn't getting healed in the Agamotto. The Jeff ult was pretty good, don't get me wrong, but he wound up just dying for it, so it wasn't really that good, I guess. And then same thing, I'm going to play up here. I know that they're favoring this left side, so I'm going to play behind this rock and see if I can patrol. I'm going to third person peek to see if they come out here, see if they come out here. See, I'm peeking here, I hear them. So I'm going to start engaging a little bit. I'm not, again, not pushing in, not walking up past line of sight. I'm not trying to like force a fight or anything. I'm just poking. I just want to build some of my ult charge up. I want to force them to use resources to flush me out. Because as long as I'm standing here, they can't just walk up, right? They have to either kill me or push me back. And if they push me back, then I'm safe. If they kill me, then I'm doing something wrong. So right here, look, I'm going to back up a little bit. And I say pop Luna ult. So I'm going to burst to 1, break her shield. 2, get rid of the dark magic. And 3, farm ult charge, right? I actually probably could be cutting this Mag's healing right now, but he's not low or anything. And it doesn't seem like my team's ready to focus fire. So especially since we are running a solo DPS Iron Man, I don't think cutting the heal here is going to be very beneficial. Maybe on the Bucky, it would have been beneficial if I cut this heal and have our Iron Man ready to blow him up. But it wasn't really coordinated, so I decided to just give him some space here. And we're just sort of turtling. And I fly up thinking that we're going to be in danger, but then I hear the Capel, and I'm like, okay, it's go time. Because I was afraid that we were going to take a lot of damage. The Ultron ult comes off, the Capel goes off, so I know that we're safe. And that's first point. So the big takeaway there is, first of all, the portal play. How I did that was, I think, good. And then also how I was playing at the choke point. So I was taking space and holding it without ever risking my life. I think it's very common for people who play main tank, especially someone like Strange or Magneto, to kind of think, oh, I have this shield, I have these bubbles to keep myself alive so I can push forward. And then they realize that they run out of resources while they're retreating and die. And that's the worst thing you can do, dying while trying to take extra space. You might as well have just played on point and not risk anything. So here, this time, I'm going to call for another portal play. I call that it might be different because they might expect it. And I also talk in chat because I noticed that our Ultron wasn't in voice chat. So I talked specifically in chat and let him know to go through the back. I actually want to see if he listened here because it's kind of chaotic. So, so here, I just want to see. No, Ultron didn't really listen, but it's fine. So I was looking for a high ground here. Wait, I was looking for a high ground. And I'm just like, okay, but we have a cap. So if I go for a high ground, so my original thought was, it's so slow. I was originally thinking, okay, maybe I could clog up this high ground, or I could go in this room, or I could block this way, right? This window. And the reason why I was like, okay, if I go here, I might be screwing our cap over because he's going to have to use resources to get over this gap. So maybe I should go closer. So I was thinking, I was preferring this window play, and I wanted to scout where they were. And then I see this really good opportunity. I'm like, oh, they're like going right in. So this is a kidnap. And sure enough, it's a kidnap. We have like a big fight here. I noticed their cloak cape up, so I can kill this Jeff for free. He doesn't have Ultron drone, so he's dead. We even Iron Man ult this, and I think that's fine because we just need to make sure we win this fight. And then once that goes down, it's clean up. So we're just going to fight this normally. We realistically should be probably playing up on the high ground. I think I call for that, actually. I call for this. I actually wait to see if anyone jumps up here with me, but then nobody did. So I say, let's just push it up. Because something I said was, I believe the call was that they might be close to a healer ult, which they are close to Jeff ult. So I said, let's make them burn this early. So I want to fight up here. Because if they pop Jeff ult up here, first of all, he doesn't really have anywhere to spit us to kill. Second of all, now that it's like a healer ult, using a healer ult up in this position is kind of a waste for them because they can't really like contest the point with it. It doesn't really save them in main. They don't really have any view. So popping it here is like a waste for them. So in my head, I'm just like, okay, well, if I get an Agamotto here, then they're just screwed. So I look for this, and I drop down knowing that Strange can cheese the hell out of this, right? So I'm looking, my main thing I'm looking for here is the enemy Strange. I want him to be as far up as possible before I do this, and I look for him so I can jump past his shield with my Agamotto. I jump exactly past his shield with the Agamotto and hit everybody. That was exactly what I was looking for when I dropped down. I wanted him to think that he could take space. I was either him dropping or getting too close. I just jumped past his shield. And that's a cleanup. Very clean fight win. And that's the second thing that I think I did well as Strange, was that I recognized that they're... Sorry. A big thing about Strange is knowing when you can get value out of Agamotto and getting it consistently. Because sometimes securing 1 or 2 kills is really worth it, and getting consistent value is really important. So that was a really big one, but even if it wasn't as big, getting consistent value is important. Whiffing Agamottos is the worst, and going too overzealously for Agamottos to just like get a 6-man team wipe when you don't need that can be detrimental, because you're looking the entire game when you could just be building more. And like, look at this. I'm already at 40% to Agamotto. And we're looking to take this. The reason why we're looking to take this more aggressively is to build Agamotto. Now we notice that our Iron Man gets picked off, and he calls that. So I'm looking to fall back if I can. So I don't want to over push this, because I know we're low on DPS here. So our pressure is kind of low. So I'm looking to go down. And now I call for to break the Hela, but it was a bad call because I didn't realize, like in my head, it didn't process that Iron Man was dead, right? Like I call, okay, can we break this? But then in my head, I'm just like, wait, why did I call that? Because Iron Man's still coming back from spawn probably. So I'm like, what am I doing here? And I forgot to cancel my my fly there, so I sort of fly down instead of And then this Ultron saves my life. This was, wait, how low did I get here? Actually, this Ultron, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die here. I go down to 29 HP before Ultron saves me, and I'm like, oh my god, okay. We're back in there. Okay, there's the Jeffel. I'm going to fly up, and I think I'm going to go on the high ground here, just so I don't get swallowed, and if he does swallow me, he's missing my team. And here, I'm just farming because I know I'm close to Agamotto, and then we die on point, because we're just wiped. And that was a call by the team to say just die on point, so I walked in and died on point. Now we just go for a full regroup. We know we have Cloak ult, and we have Agamotto, we have Iron Man ult, and I even call here, so I said, they probably have Cloak ult, which they actually don't here. But my call here was that if we pop Cloak ult to engage the fight and they match, I can Agamotto their team to either... Oh, no, the call was to go for an early Agamotto, save the Cloak ult for if we ever needed it. Like if somebody gets low and we need to save it. But if I'm going to Agamotto their team, force out their Cloak ult. And Iron Man can ult. If it's a big Agamotto, he can just ult their team. If it's not, he can go for the Cloak. That was the call, where I'm just like, I'm going to go for an Agamotto. You can ult the Cloak, because she's 100% going to ult the Agamotto. If she doesn't, or she gets away, you can just ult the team. And it's like, getting 3 picks is better than just killing the Cloak in her ult a lot of the time. So it was just like a checkmate situation. So I'm looking to take some high ground space. I push some people off, and I notice that they're all funneling into main. And that's huge. And it's funny because he actually, so he gets the Cloak here. He gets the Cloak. Wait, look at this. She ults in, and she ults back. So not only does he get the Cloak, he gets 3. So he listened. He was like, oh, if I can't get the Cloak, I can just get their team. And the Cloak even just goes back to feed it to him. And that was the cookery. And I'm really just not worried too much about this. We capture the point back. And then I'm holding tab here. Right here. I'm holding tab the entire time. And as soon as they switch Strange, I immediately, like frame 1, I put a portal. I didn't know you couldn't go around this wall. So I tried to go around. I'm like, oh, you can't go there. So I'm looking for a counter portal as soon as they switch Strange. And I'm looking for it. It's actually not lined up perfectly. But look at that. From their perspective. Look at this counter portal. Boom. And we get 3. And the thing about this is that I didn't fully cover up their whole portal, so I kind of messed it up, right? So I get 3, which is good for the fact that they need a contest, right? So they're staggered. but I didn't fully cover up their portal, so it's hard for them to or it's easy for them to get back through because portals last longer than death timers. So uh I kind of just flub it a little bit, but it's okay because I mean, even though they're here, like they have to fight 2 3v6s rather than 1 6v6. So overall, the counter portal was successful. I could have done it better, but I'm not completely practiced in counter portaling. But paying attention to when they switch strange and being ready is like the first step, and that's just game. But honestly, that felt like a master class. Like that was one of the better games that I played. I know that it was like a stomp, but I feel like I kind of took reins of that game like really heavily, and I think that's just fundamental of like something you can do on strange by just making those calls, getting those ults. There's even one ult that I didn't get a lot of consistent value, but it did, like, you know, it forced the Angela off, it forced their team back so they couldn't heal her. So it was like getting consistent value, even if it's not the most value, getting some value out of every ult and not hesitating. The other thing that I feel like I did well this game was taking the space safely, but not without value. So I didn't let them push in for free, but I also didn't risk my life. I knew when to fall back while still getting some value out of the space taking. So I think that's something else that could be taken away from this. But overall, I know that this was like a really one-sided, like stompy game, but I think there's a lot of like good things that I did in this game specifically to highlight, and I felt like self-glazing a little bit about the play. So hopefully this helps anybody who wants to play Strange better, because there were some things that are worth highlighting there that you can apply to your own games very easily. I think a big thing is when you're playing a main tank, especially Strange, who can make a lot of big plays with those portals, shot calling is huge. If you're not comfortable shot calling, you should practice. If you're just going to play the game, that's okay, but you got to be a little careful, because making sure everybody's on the same page, like calling for the Iron Man to go out through the back, just making sure we're on the same page, even though that wasn't the best call, to be honest, just making sure that we know what we're doing. And that also makes it so if the play doesn't work out, I'm able to say, oh, I should have called this better. Like I'm able to take blame. So I can't just make a portal play and it doesn't work out and be like, oh, my teammate's just bad, because it was me who set up the play. And if the play didn't work out because the play was bad, it's on me and I can improve by that. So I think that's a big thing that you can integrate into your gameplay by just simply making calls. Um, and then everything else is just sort of textbook. Like, I don't really want to point out, like, you know, the ability weaving or things like that. But on the macro game, I think that there's a lot you can learn from this game. Okay, bye.